Welcome to another edition of Arizona Living. Today we're going to talk about why some still refuse the vaccine. Stay tuned! There are 40 million Americans that refuse to get the COVID-19 vaccine. And I started to wonder, why is that? So I started to use my Google machine and I came up with 2 reasons I want to share with you as to why these people claim they are not going to get vaccinated. So to begin, here's a clip from CNN.
For months, we've seen President Trump turn wearing a mask into a political issue. But now as the United States nears the first coronavirus vaccinations, the question, will that resistance to wearing masks among Trump supporters translate to a reluctance to be vaccinated?
Although Trump supporters claim this is not a political issue, it sure feels like it is. So here are the top 2 reasons I found online as to why people say they are not going to get vaccinated and are willing to risk their health and the health of their loved ones. Reason number 1, people say that they want to wait to see how other people do with the vaccine to make sure there's no long-term issues with this vaccine. These same people think that they'll be fine if they even got the coronavirus, that they were survived, that they're healthy enough. They don't recognize that it's already been scientifically proven that there's very little side effects. It is rare for anyone to have a side effect, and should they have a side effect, that's why they make you wait 15 minutes because it would be an allergic one, and they probably have an EpiPen, and they got the ambulance staff ready to go. So it's rare that there's any sort of health issues. Now, do they happen? Of course. I am not a doctor. Reason number 2, they think the virus is a scam, some sort of conspiracy. There are pastors that preach telling their folks to not get the vaccine, that somehow this is affecting their freedom. Here are 2 clips.
There's a lot of sincere people that are doing their best to put out a vaccine, but that doesn't mean I'm going to take it. I don't believe the government can tell me, when or how I can stick a needle in my arm or my kid's arms. Super government overreach.
I don't understand what you mean when you say pandemic's not real.
Pandemic is not real.
But what do you think a pandemic is?
Not COVID-19.
But what
It is
do
no
you think a
pandemic.
pandemic is?
I think we stuck on the pandemic question too many
It's
times.
Well, then why
ridiculous.
can't you answer it?
I did. There's no pandemic.
Well, he answered it.
But what
COVID-19
would
is not a pandemic.
But what is a pandemic then?
Not what we're experiencing. I'm 44 years old. We've not had one in my lifetime, so I don't know. And this is not it.
To be clear, a pandemic is a disease that spreads across many countries and affects many people. The World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic in March, and experts say about 70% of people need to get the vaccine to control COVID spread.
Now, there were a lot more extreme videos I could have shown with pastors going on and on about how this is a conspiracy. I didn't want to make this video like a circus. In my research, I found a video by a pastor that was saying not to get the vaccine, and this guy ended up in the hospital and actually infected 10 of his family members. Now, I personally did not want to get the COVID-19 vaccine. However, I have 7 reasons I'm going to share with you as to why I chose to get the vaccine. Before I share with you my 7 reasons, just a little bit of background on me. I actually did work in the pharmaceutical industry for 12 years. I have seen some stuff, so I am the first person to be hesitant to take an untested vaccine. So here are my 7 reasons as to why I personally decided to do it. Reason number 1, I'm diabetic. That makes me high risk. Reason number 2, over 500,000 Americans have died from the COVID-19 epidemic. My uncle passed away. Up until then, it was always like I was 2 or 3 people away from someone that passed away from this, and that hit home. So 50% of the blood that runs through my veins is the same that my uncle had, And he could die from this, I could die from this too. Reason number 3, I have a lot to live for. I have an 8-year-old daughter, and I want to be able to walk down the aisle with her, when she gets married eventually. So I got a lot to live for, and I don't want to risk losing it all over a stupid virus, that I could have prevented by taking a shot. Reason number 4, getting vaccinated stops you from being able to spread the virus should you have it, for the most part. It's not 100%, but from what I've read, they claim it's at least 50% that if you get vaccinated, you're 50% likely to spread the virus. Now, just because you're vaccinated doesn't mean you can't get COVID-19. You can still get it, but chances are you would survive. You wouldn't end up in the hospital on a ventilator. Reason number 5, vaccines have been around forever. Vaccines have stopped polio, measles, and smallpox. This is not nothing new. COVID-19 is just another one on the list for vaccines. Number 6, the vaccine is relatively safe. Millions of people have taken it. Very few bad side effects. As I mentioned, allergies is the number one thing. You can get a serious allergic reaction to it. Dr. Fauci said, even though it was expedited, this vaccine followed the same exact procedure as any other drug would. And reason number 7, I wanted to get back to life as normal. I was sick and tired of being stuck at home like under house arrest. I wanted to go out and about, not have to worry about wearing a mask, and get back to life as normal. It's been ridiculous the past year. So I ended up getting the Pfizer vaccine. So I got 2 shots, and my arm was sore for a couple days, and the worst of it was for one day after my second shot, I felt cold for a few hours. But other than feeling cold and my arm being sore, I was fine. By the way, I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm independent, okay? I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. I have no political affiliations. I think for myself. I'm not a parrot. I don't just repeat what I hear. I'm not going to stand on a soapbox and tell everyone you have to get vaccinated. I have a daughter, and if they came up with the vaccine for young children, which I know they're working on, would I give it to her? Not necessarily, because statistically speaking, young children mostly are fine even if they get the virus. Very few deaths. There have been deaths, but very few. Would I have her do it if she's older and she's high risk? Let's just say she had diabetes. Yes. It's all about your underlying conditions and overall health. I am not a doctor. All right? I'm just sharing with you my perspective, as I do in all these videos, as to why I chose to get the COVID-19 vaccine. So guys, that's all I had to say. Please like, subscribe if you're not already, and comment below. What are your feelings on the whole vaccination thing? Did you get it done? Till next time!